We were taking, my car was used to convey us to a point. That was where we met the primary pupils and their teacher.
I eventually played that in Oyo State.
And what they hate most is noise, that it attracts attention.
Makinde should raise his voice so that it will get to the UN and to Donald Trump.
I therefore, with a full sense of responsibility, call on the United Nations system to closely examine the facts surrounding this abduction.
The governor of Oyo State calling on the United Nations to investigate the overall circumstances surrounding the kidnap and even the rescue.
It is intended to reinforce public confidence that the truth will be established.
I thought that was the most unstatemanly. He was carrying partisan politics too far, and this Senate should condemn his unguided statement. People must immediately be paraded, prosecuted, and laid low. Take his course.
So why should the federal government be jittery over it? Tell me, what has it done wrong?
Let's Makinde to settle with Wike so that he will have political future.
Circumstances surrounding this incident are sufficiently grave and unusual to warrant independent scrutiny beyond our domestic institutions. I therefore, with a full sense of responsibility as the executive governor of Oyo State, call on the appropriate international human rights and accountability mechanism, including those within the United Nations system, to closely examine the facts surrounding this abduction and the circumstances of its resolution. Such scrutiny is not intended to undermine our institution. Rather, it is intended to reinforce public confidence that the truth will be established and that every person found to bear responsibility, regardless of office, influence, or affiliation, will be held accountable. Under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the primary responsibility for national security rests with the federal government and the security agencies under its command. The Nigerian people, therefore, deserve a full and transparent account of what happened, who was responsible, whether there were institutional failures, negligence, or collusion at any level, and what measures must now be taken to ensure that no community is ever subjected to such an ordeal again. This is not about politics. It is about justice for the victims, reassurance for our people, and restoring public confidence that every Nigerian child can go to school.
So, you have heard Governor Seyi Makinde. Do you think that it was wrong for him to request for an independent investigation from the United Nations? Please pause and share your honest opinion in the comment section. Now, Governor Makinde's statement did not sit well with some members of the Senate, just like Senator Adams, Oshomole, and other lawmakers. They strongly criticize him for inviting the United Nations to investigate the internal Nigerian matters. So, listen to what Senator Oshomole said. I will be right back.
Mr. President, I read this morning in newspapers and I've seen it with the electronic. The governor of Oyo State calling on the United Nations to investigate the overall circumstances surrounding the kidnap and even the rescue. I thought that was the most unstatemanly. He was carrying partisan politics too far, and this Senate should condemn his unguided statement. Nigeria is a sovereign nation. When we wake up and call on foreign authorities to investigate, this is one case in which our armed forces have shown that without paying ransom, even if it meant that these children and some of the elders had to be in captivity for almost 2 months, that the armed forces were working quietly to have these rescue operations, which, as well captured in this motion, led to some loss of life. To trivialize it, to suggest, as the governor of Oyo State seems to have done, that there is something that is not open, that the UN needs to unearth the circumstances, is to question the sovereignty of our nation and to downplay the achievement of the commander-in-chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and all the service chiefs and in fact all those involved in this process. I think that there's a moment in the history of a nation when across party divide we should stand in unison to commend what has happened, the way in which people were released, and to encourage the armed forces to build on it, that they should extend and get more gadgets. It's not possible for them to share with us some of the things they did, like I heard they were able to identify the guys, arrest some of their relatives, etc., etc. These are not details that we're interested in. But I want us to resolve that the governor of your state should not be seen as downplaying, undermining, and politicizing an issue in which ought to be something that the whole nation, across party divide, should start the UDC to commend our armed forces for what they have accomplished on this occasion.
Thank you very much. We now use the floor to.
So, my people, after hearing their reaction, I now notice that some people don't critically think, why are they struggling against an independent investigation? Some Nigerians believe that allowing the UN to investigate would help reveal the exact thing that happened to those children and their teachers without political interference. Others believe that Nigeria should have handled the investigation internally, but it's left for you. What do you guys think? Now let's talk about the rescue teacher. The rescue teacher was later invited to speak about what happened. She thanked President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the security agencies for their efforts in rescuing them. However, while she was speaking to the journalists afterwards, she described how they allegedly slept on grounds, remained under the rain and under the sun. But initially, you were thanking President Tinubu. Now you're still. But before I conclude, listen to the video and drop your thought on the comment section.
Now you're taking us through your journey while you were in there.
Okay.
How was the experience for you?
56 days. It was, you can only imagine, and imagine it even is like believing it. It was not easy. We were in the forest, in the open most of the time, under the sun, under the rain, with the children. But we kept going because there was no way out. We knew it was God that could only help us. So that really helped us. And the fact that we believe that people are praying for us, that also helped us as well. And I cannot say it's not God, because sometimes things we go through, you think that when you break down, that will be the end. You just survive it.
On some of these children, we saw scars. Were there moments you were maltreated?
Personally, I was not beaten, but some of the children were beaten. You know, children, some of them are quiet, some of them are loud. And what they hate most is noise, that it attracts attention. So the youngest of them, maybe the two, Waliya and Salam, they were the one that took the best of the beating. They will close their mouth, tie it with clothes, and beat them very well. Then the men, they had it worse than us, because they were blindfolded, handcuffed, and chained on the leg. All of them, until they remained two. So,
was there any form of molestation on anybody?
Sexual molestation? No.
Mrs. Rachel, what next for you now? I mean, what's going through your mind? I know your husband can also express.
I want to see my husband. When I get home, I can think of any other thing. But definitely, it has to be something that will be good for me.
How did it constantly also get the children? Because they're kids. How were you able to cope with it?
We sacked them all. When we started, the first week, they were bringing biscuits for them, maybe to make them comfortable. But along the line, that stopped. Then we had to move from one point to another, and that was a major problem we had. When the place is discovered, we have to move, and that starts around 7, 8 in the night. Sometimes we walk 3, 4 hours. That is most of the bruises you see on our bodies.
Children?
Yes. They carry the last 3: Salam, Waliyat, and Testimony. The girls, the secondary school girls will carry the tail. The other ones, they will have to walk. We fall sometimes, a lot.
How long did it take you on that day to navigate through that forest?
When we were taken, my car was used to convey us to a point. That was where we met the primary pupils and their teacher. So we had to walk for about 1 hour. They brought bicycle machine and about 10 of them. So we were parked there. And we rode for more than 4 hours, uncharted paths, but they knew their way.
Madam,
when we were released the meeting, the first thing you said was, was there anything that was going on at that particular time that you wanted an answer to?
No, what actually happened, I thought they left the car there. The police will have towed the car to their office, but somebody showed me the car where it was burnt, and that was not the part we took. So I think they drove it to that point before it was touched. That was not the way we took into the forest.
Will this impact on you negatively in any way as a teacher?
Going to rural area will take the grace of God. You know, with time, I've worked for 28 years, so I have 4 years. With time, maybe I can get over it, but going that far, the distance between that place and Ogbomosho is far already. So I sacrifice a lot when it comes to transportation. Now, coupled with this, I don't know what will happen, but for now.
So after hearing her testimony, it has raised a lot of online questions. So people are asking, how are the students' white hijabs still white? It was so clean. After spending 55 days sleeping on ground, sleeping in forest under harsh conditions. This does not automatically prove that her story is false, but many Nigerians are asking clearer explanation. We want to know. So guys, different commentators and media personalities like the Keyakas reacted to the story to support Governor Makinde's call for an independent investigation, while others believe that the federal government explanation should be accepted just like that. Let us listen to what the Keyakas said, and I'll be right back.
He's being tagged a cloud chaser now is because he's accusing another party of ruining his political ambition. Now, the government should say, they said this, that is happening to them. They didn't accuse anybody. They might have said opposition, right? Or whatnot. But Makinde is making it seem like as if as soon as he declared, the ruling party just took a stand and then boom, they took out people from the states. But I love Seyi Makinde so much. I want him to be the president someday. Yes. But with what he's doing right now, he's watering down his ambition. Right? I expect him to pull this kind of press conference after these children were taken and after a member of his state was beheaded. I didn't expect him to be calling on international support into a sovereign state. He just basically made himself or made us look helpless. Like we can't solve our own.
I heard the statement where he was trying to link the kidnap with his ambition, right? I just feel he's trying to seek some atom of relevance. That's just what I feel. Trying to take advantage of a situation to make himself important, in this presidential or whatever race he's planning. So, of which he's not. He's not. And he inviting or making reports to UN just for the steel clouds. That's all. He's just seeing an unfortunate situation and trying to sell himself in that scenario as if it was when I declared, trying to make us feel he's important. Even we discussing him, yes, I'm not even happy because he's of no importance.
So I try to say the government is crowd chaser.
I don't know. For him, yes. In this scenario, yes. Okay. He's seeking unnecessary attention. Okay. In this scenario, yeah.
And my thoughts with that of Richie. Makinde does not even have a political party to run with. INEC have recognized Wike's faction. So, how is Makinde a threat? Sowore has more political clout than Makinde. So saying that he declared today, they kidnap tomorrow, is just showing his incompetence, because there have been reports that have been showing that terrorists have been moving from Para towards that that axis. What is it called now? The abandoned former national animal reserve or games reserve, and he did nothing about it. Now this opportunity scenario has happened, and glory be to God, they've been rescued and it's going to chase clouds. I would advise Makinde to settle with Wike so that he will have a political future.
We as Nigerians, Tinubu stood and said that the insecurities in Nigeria are targeted to disrupt his political and 2027 political ambition. So it is very safe, based on what you all said, to say that even the current government are clout chasers. That is what it means. That was what Tinubu said. So suddenly, because now Makinde said it, then suddenly he has become a clout chaser. The thing is, we need to target the problem of Nigeria and Nigerian government from the roots. Let us not just take it from the surface, because this security, it's obvious, and I can tell you, I'm not there, but I can tell you that truly it was targeted at him. Then suddenly we are all turning him to cloud chasers. But that was something the president said.
Thank you. Okay. Unfortunately, most of the things we see in the media, for me, they are scripted. Because just like two people who have gone into a deal and the sharing formula does not favor them, so we start hearing the other party complaining. Back in there, requesting for independent investigation, calling UN and international organizations to come and investigate what happened in Oyo, shows lack of trust in the system that Nigeria runs as a whole. Let's put this side by side by the issue with the Baja, the chief of staff to the president, who the other guy is asking that independent outfit should be allowed to investigate what transpired. Why the president has given a go-ahead order to the ICPC to investigate. And this guy say, no, I don't trust in this system. Give an independent organization or outfit to investigate it. It means that there's this trust deficit system that we are dealing with. How do you think that the ICPC will indict the chief of staff of the president? How do you think the security agencies will say this is what exactly happened in Oyo State? They are not going to tell you, because what happened to the retired army general that was killed? Did they tell you how the whole thing happened? The state told you that he died as a natural cause while in the den of the kidnappers. Who understand that? Who gets to understand that these are things that are being scripted for us to believe that the government is doing their job? For me, that Oyo incident was just a charade. It was just like, give me, I give you, let's come to the table and talk. At the end of the day,
the kidnapping was scripted.
I won't say it was scripted completely, but there's something. These guys are somewhere drinking tea, if I may say. And some people were beheaded. The government can do anything to make you believe whatever they want to do. If you watch, maybe because I watch too much movies, and I understand that when government want to do something, they can use the closest person to their scapegoat, and they will make their things look real to everybody. So for me, when I listen to that news, when I had the Lucky Day stuff, is he helpless? Yes, he's the state governor. We saw what happened in River State. We saw what happened in other states. We saw what happened in Plateau State. When the governor of the Plateau State came to a crime scene in an ammo tank, a state governor. So what are we even saying? Governors are helpless. And if you cannot protect them as the president, the boss out on the table. During Jonathan, it was he. But now we are shifting responsibilities to the governors. So these are double standards. Okay. So we should make sure that we face things the way they are. Thank you.
So you have heard what they said. And now, a security analyst also explained how the military operation was reportedly carried out. According to him, he said that a special squad from the Office of the National Security Advisor worked with the senior military commanders to surround the forest and rescue the victim. That thing looks like it was scripted, but you have to watch the video and judge this case yourself.
It is a forest, a very thick forest, spanning about 2,000 kilometers. Very thick. And like I said with you, the last interview we have is that the most important thing, we should learn how to give information to the authority. See it, say it, and sort it. But in Nigeria, we see it and we keep quiet. Until we have that reorientation to try and help the system. I was discussing with some of my friends. Look at the rescue operation, the way it was done, in my view, because I know the terrain very well. Fortunately for us, there's a federal government road in a town called Ibokwe to Igbo and Ibokwe to Kishi. Had it been there's no that road, you'll have escaped. So the military people were on that road. That is to the north. And then to the east is Secretary, another town where they could have been able to pass. The military were there. And to the west here, we have Ibeti, where another place they could have passed. They couldn't move. So they were curtailed inside. And then from the south, we have the SCLA, where the incident, where they took them up. So immediately they were inside, and then there's a surveillance that was able to narrow them that they are here. Some people were saying it's because they've arrested their family and this. If that road had been free and the military didn't block it, they would have gone. Right. That's where I give kudos to our military officers, all of them. And then there was what is called collaboration among them. Charles,
which is something a lot of people have been calling for.
About 4 weeks ago, I was home and I saw a naval battalion passing through Bomashaw, heading towards that Ikoyi. That I was not wondering, what is Navy coming to do here? But I didn't know every one of them have a role to play. The special squad came from the NSA office. You won't believe it, the GOC, the garrison commander, all of them were on the spot. So they were determined, they were ready to take off. So at the end of the day, there was this synergy. And it helps.
This man is so funny. After listening to this explanation, do you believe that these children were actually rescued through a military operation, or do you believe that a ransom was secretly paid, or do you agree with those demanding an independent investigation to establish the full truth? These are the questions that only a transparent investigation can properly answer. So drop your thought on the comment section. Now let's come to Mr. Darlington of Vogue TV. He also shared his opinion about the incident and the government explanation. Let us listen to what he said on this video. I'll be right back.
She said, well, he wants UN, United Nations, to investigate the Orire kidnap. He said, there has never been any school kidnap in Oyo State until hours after I declared my ambition to be president of this country. Was it proper that the president and the governor didn't discuss that issue, even for once? How do you react to this development? And the call by Sheyi, UN should step in and investigate what happened.
Well, Mr. Koro, I'm not sympathizing so much with Sheyi Makinde. I only sympathize with the parents and the children and those that were murdered wrestling on that adoption. Sheyi Makinde, laid this foundation that eventually played out in Oyo State in 2022-2023 when the G5 Foundation, when he aligned with Wike to bring in the president that we're talking about now. As at that time, he was like a godfather. But when the issue happened now, he just suddenly remember that he's alone. There was no call from the president on this matter. So Sheyi Makinde and the president, they are politicians, they are political allies or whatever. So we should not be bringing them into what happens. If it is sweet with them, they know how they enjoy it.
The statement he made about the kidnap taking place hours after he declared
I'm still going there. I'm still going there. You see, what happened in Oyo State is part of the insecurity that we'll be crying about in this nation, which the president APC said in 2015 that late Muhammadu Buhari was coming to solve it. 8 years of Buhari was a monumental failure. Tinubu came in and said, he was going to continue from where Buhari stopped. We are seeing the effect of that statement he made now. Part of it is that now the insecurity has even left the northern part of Nigeria, now in the south. We've not seen this kind of adoption in the south before now. So for Sheyi Makinde calling on UN, this is an eternal thing. Let's call a spade a spade. If the government is failing, it's failing. If Nigeria have to call on UN, Iran call on UN, US call on UN. How would they be able to now begin to talk of external? If you look at even the Iraq, Russia and Ukraine, they've not even been able to solve it.
People, you have now heard the different sides of the story of many people. A lot of people have different opinion about this incident. Governor Sheyi Makinde wants an independent investigation. Likewise me. But some senators insist that the Nigeria should investigate the matter internally. That this concerns Nigeria and this does not concern the UN. It concerns the UN. It concerns the UN. Now let us watch what very dark man has to say, or how he reacted about Bola Ahmed Tinubu and what he's telling the youth should do. His statement has caused very serious conversation online, so you have to listen to what very dark man said about President Tinubu. You are going to be right back.
Number two, the schools in Nigeria, this is the time to send a message to the government that if it can happen in Oyo State, it can happen in Edo, it can happen in Anambra, it can happen in Kogi, it can happen in Delta, it can happen anywhere. Because insecurity started from somewhere and now it's happening almost everywhere. This is the time for Nigerian students, to the Nigerian Union of Teachers, this is the time to say, no, we are going on a strike. Until these people are out, we can no longer teach. Until our teachers, these people are part of you. Don't you understand that tomorrow can be your turn as a teacher? What you the way to say if you no go, they don't pay you salary. What is the salary going to do when they hold you? Do you think these people ask for ransom that your salary can cover? This is a time for Nigerians to not move on and join us together to say, federal government, you must bring these people out, else we are not doing anything. Nigerian Union of Teachers and the students, you can't. Be it private and public, you can't. But especially the public, because the private people, the private schools, the even politicians, they invest heavily in them. That is why they've completely neglected the public schools, and they don't even care about the security of the people that go there. That is why their classroom don't even have a good blackboard. They don't even have a good sitting chair. That is why in the public schools now, it has felt so bad that they don't even have windows. A lot of them don't even have roof. When it is raining, the students move to the side. The children of the poor, they don't even, nothing. So a lot of these private-owned schools in Nigeria are funded. These are like the wives of the politicians that own these schools. It is fact. But as a public school teacher, this is a time to lend your voice. All you have to do is to sit down in your house. All you have to do is to sit down at home tomorrow and say, enough is enough.
So after listening to Very Dark Man, what is your final conclusion? Do you believe that the government really rescued those children, or do you support Governor Seyi Makinde's demand for an independent investigation? I support him with my full chest. Won't be mean. But over to you guys. Share your opinion respectfully in the comment section. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell for more updates.
Now you have watched this video today, and don't forget to like and drop your comment in the comment section, and subscribe and turn on your notification button for next update.